He's gonna hit her. I knew it. So they're gonna step out and you gonna talk to Hagen. I'm glad Hagen seems still to be reliable.
Where's my brother? I want you to get in touch with him. I know he's scared. I know Roth misled him, but he didn't know they were gonna try to kill me.
Which I think is right.
What? Come on, what?
Kay had a miscarriage. She lost the baby.
And the hits just keep on coming. Wow.
Boy?
Mikey, after 3.5 months.
Now can't you give me a straight answer anymore?
Oh, jeez. Fredo. Oh, wow. Yeah, this type of stuff. Hey, that doesn't work. But times were the times.
E questo è un vicinanzo mio, dove la vedi noi non la vedi manco l'antica del rispetto per mia. Ve lo domando solo un rocendo per la protezione che mi rogni e mi scordo pure la malattia. Capisci, paesano?
Lo capisci? E per chi la mo pagare?
Questo è lo so quartiere.
Does he have a bunch of men?
È meglio per tutti gli altri. Non ti preoccupare.
So he's immediately thinking that he's not going to answer to somebody like that.
Vi garantisco che io si big so che ci rogno io.
Give him an offer he can't refuse.
I take everything.
Ma come fai tu a farci pigliare di meno?
A voi oggi non mi interessa. Ma solo ricordatevi che vi feci un piacere.
Just remember I did you a favor. He's like, I'll resolve this. Remember you owe me. That's exactly what I was saying. Finucci's alone in the caffeine. Or cafe? Gosh. You tell where my headspace is at.
I'm making an offer, you don't refuse.
I make an offer, you don't refuse. Interesting. I was wondering for a second if he was just actually going to pay him, but take more out of his pocket, but use it to curry favor with his friends. And have them owe him.
Mi pare che ci sono 400 scudi sotto il mio cappello.
Oh, wow.
Monete, che vuoi? Accomode su io senza tabaglio.
Perché non ti avevo mai incontrato prima? A te, eh? Tutto io ti voglio con buona moneta.
I'll find you some work for some good money. Interesting. So is he going to take the work, or is he going to take him out? The parade, nobody's going to hear it.
Senza rancore, eh?
No harms, right? If I can help you, let me know.
Tu ti facesti a conoscere.
Interesting. Whoa. A bunch of money attached to a Jesus? That confused me. If anyone has any answers to that, that'd be dope. I'm really liking... You know what's interesting? Literally, both storylines are equally as entertaining and interesting. So I don't feel like I'm like, hey, let's get back to Vito. I do want to see more Vito, obviously. I'm like, I wonder what's going on with that. But I'm perfectly happy with this situation, how it is. Wow, so he's waiting. And it said his family's not home. You're dead, dude. Is he working up the guts to do it, or is he gonna let him go? Yeah. Oh, jeez, this is what I'm talking about. The stuff they do is so cool. Jeez. Yep, that seems realistic too. Oh, jeez. Jeez, no kidding. That is sick. There would definitely have been a little bit more of a blood splatter from that, but I'm still cool with it. Dang. Go back home and kiss on some babies. So is he holding baby Michael? Or would that be Michael's sister? Michael, okay. Interesting. You can almost see like the connection between Vito and Michael way back then. That it was formed because that was He just went and murdered somebody. And went back to holding his family, holding his kids. It's crazy. Intermission. Oh, been a while for tonight. Shoot, should have stopped here. Is this usually where they'd switch the tapes? Actually, probably. There's the little toy car. Because he was gone taking care of business, he missed Christmas and he missed his... He wasn't there for his wife's miscarriage to be able to help her through it. Man, I'd imagine he feels so much guilt. I wonder if he ever told her about Apollina. Was that her name from the first one? What do you even say to her? That's what he's thinking. My wife and I have been through plenty of this kind of stuff that... Jeez. Gotta go back into your wife, dude.
But in actuality, you remember the Corleone crime organization.
No, we call it the Corleone family, Senator. We call it the family. When the boss says push a button on a guy, I push a button. See, Senator?
Mr. Quester.
You mean you kill people?
Yeah, that's right, Counselor.
Did you ever get such an order directly from Michael Corleone?
No, I never talked to him.
So they're going after Michael. Gosh, I'm really not sure how this is going to end for Michael. Think deep in his heart. Interesting question.
Mica di fa di forte la famiglia. Mica di... veduta.
Ma tua famiglia, non tu puoi chiamare. Non tu.
He's scared to lose his family.
Cambi, cambi.
Desidero un po' di frutta.
Got the mustache going on.
Frutta da giornata.
Perché se ne viene mia?
He's starting.
Di Lungoliarno con
The neighbors
di casa
complained to the
di
landlord about her dog. When the landlord would find the dog, he got mad and told her to leave. Okay, he's evicted her.
Ma mi dici che vuoi che stare qua?
Come si chiami?
Conosci, signora Roberto.
Signor Roberto.
State qua.
My name is Vito Corleone. Signor Colombo is a friend of mine. I told her that I talked to you. Then you're a reasonable man.
Vabbè, quanto pagano che sai? 5 scudi. Ci sono 6 mesi d'anticipo. Trovare indannato 6 mesi. Ma c'è un cane a volere. Che cazzo sei che stai andando a casa, me lo ordine a mia mano comanda. Oh, che fai sto piacere?
Do me this favor. He's really good at selling people to do him favors for favors in return, or he's really good at manipulation. Vito is. Now he knows. He looks disheveled as all get out.
The rent stays like before.
The rent goes down. Yeah. Wow.
Are you the son of Vito Corleone? Yes, I am. Was known in certain circles as Godfather.
Godfather is a term that was used by his friends, one of affection, one of respect. Indeed, I can proudly say that some of my very best friends are Italian Americans. Unfortunately, I have to leave these proceedings, but before I leave, I do want to say this, that these hearings on the Mafia are in no way whatsoever a slur upon the great Italian people, because I can state from my own knowledge and experience that Italian Americans...
He's grandstanding.
If we allowed a few rotten apples to give a bad name to the whole barrel.
So who's he saying is a bad apple? Is he saying Michael is?
He has stated that you are head of the most powerful mafia family in this country.
No, I'm not.
Is it true that in the year 1950, you devised the murder of the heads of the so-called 5 families?
It's a complete falsehood.
Senator, my client would like for me to state before this committee.
Mr. Chairman, I think this statement is totally out of order at this time.
No, I'm going to allow Mr. Corleone to read his statement.
I consider it a great dishonor to me personally to have to deny that I am a criminal, that no proof linking me to any criminal conspiracy. I challenge this committee to produce any witness or evidence against me. If they do not, clear my name with the same publicity with which they now have besmirched it.
I'm sure we're all quite impressed, Mr. Corleone, particularly with your love for our country. Time the committee will produce a witness who will corroborate the charges which are made against you today, and at which time, Mr. Corleone, you may very well be subject to indictment for perjury.
Oh gosh.
10 to 1 shot.
It's him.
10
Yep.
to 1 shot.
Because it said
It would
it
take
wasn't even him that tried to kill him too.
You got a great home here, Frankie. For the rest of your life. Nobody gets near you, you're not going anywhere.
Frankie's gonna die. He's gonna get sniped or something.
Aunt Angela is alive.
Roth. He engineered it, Michael.
Mm.
Frankie went to make a deal with the Rosado brothers, and they tried to kill him. He thought you double-crossed him.
Interesting that Roth ended up being the
I'll talk to Fredo.
kind of main villain, really. I mean, they're all villains, but the main antagonist to Michael.
I haven't got a lot to say, Mike. Pick up intentionally, that's all I can tell you. I didn't know it was gonna be a hit, Mike. And close the deal fast. It'll be good for the family. You believe that story?
He believed that he had money for him.
Believe that? He said there was something in it for me. On my own.
Yep.
I've always taken care of you, Fredo.
Taking care of me? You're my kid brother, and you take care of me?
Hmm.
Did you ever think about that? Huh? Did you ever once think about that?
His ego.
I can handle things, I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
If you didn't know there was gonna be a hit on your brother, when that was, I feel like it would have been painfully obvious to somebody like Michael.
The Senate lawyer, Questat. He belongs to Roth.
You're nothing to me now.
Wow.
You're not a brother. You're not a friend. I don't want you near my house.
Yeah. It's reasonable.
I don't want anything to happen to him while my mother's alive.
Wow. While my mother's alive. Crap. 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 Ooh. Ooh.
Clemenza and DeVito Corleone, also known as the Godfather.
No.
I never knew no Godfather.
Were you at any time a member of a crime organization headed by Michael Corleone?
I don't know nothing about that.
I'm gonna find out what the hell happened here. All right, this committee is now...
That's awesome.
Michael, excuse me. The children are outside. We're going.
Going? Are they trying to leave him?
I suppose I always knew you were too smart to let any of them ever beat you.
Changes I want to make.
I think it's too late for changes, Michael.
Things
God's
that have been
sake.
going on for
Michael!
years between men and women that
Michael,
will
you're
not
blind.
change
You've
the next
become
day.
blind,
Blind to
Michael.
what?
My God, look what's happened to our son, Michael.
Anthony's fine now.
Anthony is not
I don't want to hear
fine.
about it.
And he wants to join the family.
At this moment, I feel no love for you at all. I never thought that would ever happen.
What do you want from me? Do you expect me to let you take my children from me? That I'd use all my power to keep something like that from happening?
Is he threatening her?
Don't you? No, in time, you'll feel differently. You'll be glad I stopped you now. I know you blame me for losing the baby. I know what that meant to you. I'm gonna change.
It's been 7+ years.
And you'll forget about this miscarriage.
That's a misfire.
Child.
Michael, you are blind. It wasn't a miscarriage. It was an abortion. An abortion, Michael. Just like our marriage is an abortion. Something that's unholy and evil. A son, and I had it killed because this must all end. I know now that it's over.
He's gonna hit her.
That that's been going on for 2,000 years.
I knew it.
You won't take my children!
You're much.
Gosh. Let's just basically say, yeah, I would hate her if I was Michael. I don't know how I'd forgive that. That's crazy. So he went back there. Whatever happened to the guy that was there before? Did he have him killed? Or did he just pass away? I just cannot shake that scene with him and his wife. Oh my gosh. Gosh, I'm just at a loss for words right now. Oh, here's the compound for that other dude. And he's not looking for a Vito Corleone.
Se você mi vuole fare l'onore, ci volesse fare a conoscere. Si chiama Vito Corleone.
Vito Corleone. E tuo padre come si chiama?
Padre si chiama Antonio Andolini. E questo è Petit.
Oh, dang. He gutted him, jeez. Oh, sad. Interesting. You know, I started to think that we weren't going to come back to that guy, but he went and got his vengeance. I wonder if it was like their,
Michael, say goodbye.
Gosh, I'm just thinking about Michael's life at this point. Oh, his mother passed away. That means Fredo's a goner. I'm sorry to say, for probably good reason. And you could totally tell earlier, and I meant to say it, but he totally wasn't like repentant at all. He had no remorse for his actions toward Michael. He was like, I didn't know, but he still hated Michael. I don't think there was a proper amount of remorse. Like, it's something I think, given opportunity, if he stayed in the family, he'd do it again.
And where's Mike? Wait for you to leave. Can I talk with him?
No, you're nothing.
Sorry, Fredo, no chance.
You've made your bed, man. There's a kid sitting with him in the darkness. She seems like she's got her life back together.
I'd like to stay close to home now, if it's all right. Michael Fredo's in the house with Mama, and Tom said you wouldn't see him.
Does she not know what he did?
Michael, I hated you for so many years. You were just being strong for all of us the way Papa was. And I forgive you. Can't you forgive Fredo? He's so sweet and helpless without you. You need me, Michael.
What would Vito have done? He needed his sister right there, for sure. I thought Fredo was going to be a goner, but... I had thought... Did Fredo have that mustache for the longest time? They needed that. It's interesting. I didn't expect him to forgive him. At the very least, it looks like he's trying. No. He's not forgiving him, is he? I think Fredo might be still a dead man. But was it Fredo doing the mustache thing because he was trying to look like Vito? I think that's what he was so desperate to try to live like it was impossible for him to live in the shadow of his father because his father was so great. And now he also has to live in the shadow of his younger brother, which I can understand messing with the psyche.
Business partner Hyman Roth is in the news.
Oh.
Did you hear about it?
Is he dead?
I hear that he's in Israel.
He's in Israel.
The High Court in Israel turned down his request to live there as a returned Jew.
Oh.
His passport's been invalidated, except for a return to the United States.
He's been dying of the same heart attack for 20 years.
Yeah.
Plane goes to Miami. It'd be like trying to kill the president. There's no way we can get to him.
Tom, you know you surprise me. If history's taught us anything, it says you can kill anyone. I thought you were going to tell me that you were moving your family to Vegas.
I turned them down. I mean, do I have to tell you about every offer that I turned down? Now, Roth and the Rosados are on the run. Is it worth it? You want to wipe everybody out?
I don't feel I have to wipe everybody out, Tom. Just my enemies. That's all. You can take your wife, your family, and your mistress.
Wow.
Move them all to Las Vegas.
Why do you hurt me, Michael? I've always been loyal to you. I mean, what is this?
How'd you like it if I taught you how to catch the really big fish? Every time I put the line in the water, I said a Hail Mary. And every time I said a Hail Mary, I caught a fish.
It's gonna be okay, Frankie. Don't worry.
He's 10 times tougher than me, my brother.
He didn't want to go out for dinner. He just wanted to go straight home.
That's my brother. And this is nothing could get him away from that two-mule town.
Plotters are always given a chance to let the families keep their fortunes.
Their families were taken care of, Tom.
It was a good break. Nice deal.
Opened up their veins and bled.
Is that what he's telling him to do? Kill yourself or do what I say and we'll take care of your family type of thing?
Kay, you have to go.
Yeah, Michael hates her about as much as she hates him now. She's gonna come face to face with Michael at the door.
Anthony, please, kiss me once.
Man, he has got such a presence about him. Did you just shut the door? Yep.
Anthony!
He's here! We're going fishing!
No! Michael wants to take him to Reno now.
Fredo's dead. This movie is exceptionally sad. Gosh, I don't even know what to think. Is this the fall of Michael Corleone? Is that what this movie essentially is?
Hey, Frankie, come on out. Let's play some hearts.
I'm a retired investor living on a pension.
Knew it. Knew it. Jeez. Gee. Oh, gosh. Take care of his family.
Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
It's the barrel. You barely see the barrel. Wow, I love that shot of him sitting in there with the dark jacket with the red shirt underneath. Jeez. He feels more bloodthirsty. At the end of the last one, it felt like he was setting things right and taking care of business. This one, it doesn't feel like that nearly as much. It just feels bloodthirsty. When does it end, Michael?
Hey, everybody, come on, pay attention. Come here. Come on, say hello to Carl. He's good looking, isn't he?
Yes.
Oh, that droopy thing over there, that's my brother Mike. We call him Joe Collie, you know what I mean? Come on, sit down. Go ahead. Talk to each other. Sit down.
Dang.
Hey, Mr. Einstein. Joe.
This isn't a deleted scene, is it? This is actually.
Hey, Sally, get in here. I was scared. Come on.
I love seeing James Caan.
Hey, what is that, rum?
I loved his character, Santino. Man, I love Sonny. This is so hard to watch. This is so sad.
Got no right dropping bombs. What are you, a Jap lover or something? You on that side?
I understand 30,000 men enlisted this morning.
Bunch of saps. Your country ain't your blood. You remember that.
I don't feel that way.
Why don't you just quit college and go to join the army?
I did.
I did.
Yep.
I enlisted in the Marines.
Why didn't you come to
What's wrong? Hey, come on, come on. Come on, hey, come on, Sonny. Punk, Sonny, sit. No, you. Go on, sit. Sit down.
That's fear right there. Worried about losing their brother.
Or she'll call it a tree.
Yes, well, Mike. Congratulations.
That's right, encouraging.
You gotta understand that your father has plans for you. He and I have talked about your future.
My future.
Mikey, he has high hopes for you.
Well, I have my own plans for my future.
You go to college, you get stupid.
Interesting. So I was wrong. I mentioned at the beginning. Yeah. Interesting. So he actually did kind of resent his family. Or resent his father. He wasn't trying to be a good son. I completely like... Oh, we passed some time. Look, he's got a little bit of gray going on. Is that the end of the movie? Jeez, okay. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. What do I say about that? I have so many thoughts. Okay. I don't know about that as an ending. Like, okay. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, so by the end of this movie, I feel like is almost by the end of this movie he's incredibly, I guess, paranoid and vengeful. And the thing is, his father was never like that. He was very similar to his father in a lot of his traits, but especially by the end of the last one, he was a lot more bloodthirsty. Although you do see in the Godfather Part 2 is that the Vito is also, he's vengeful, but I feel like he almost learns after the gosh, I don't even know. I have to watch this again. I don't feel like I can comprehend what I just witnessed. And there's so much that happens that I feel like I just have to try to break down somehow. Gosh. I like the extra sort of explanation, I guess, of Michael, or no, of Fredo. Well, first off, okay. So he already was dwindling when it comes to family by the time this one started. But at the very beginning, he was at least semi-happy, and I think his wife was maybe at least semi-happy as much as she was. I guess she wasn't, even because she was, even in the beginning, she was saying that was 7 years ago. But no, she was happy though. She was happy to see him. I think it was the getting shot at that was the part that did her in, and just reinforced what she was a part of, what he was a part of. And you know what? I think also there's something that's kind of enforced in this, that to Michael, yes, family is important to him, but it's never been nearly important to him as his own will and pushing his own will. Because I think that's what we kind of see at the end of this. I'm trying to just understand Michael's psyche, right? You see, because I thought that what it was is that he did a lot of what he did, being a part of the family, because being away from the family, being, I guess, going to college and then joining the military and stuff, was because his father wanted him to make something of himself. He went to college because his father had faith in him and had high hopes for him, especially when it comes to the levels of influence that he could garner, and his capabilities. He knew he was capable and he was intelligent, and he rebelled against him and against his family when the war happened and he enlisted. I don't know if it was really about because he cared about his country, and maybe he did, but I think a lot of it did have to do with rebelling against his father. And then when he comes back, his father is shot, almost dies. He sees an opportunity to rise. And see, the thing is, and you do see the contrast of the way Vito made friends and gained power, with the contrast of Michael killing to keep it and going full on bloodthirsty. So you have Vito who's saying, hey, do me a favor, and I'll do this for you, or I'll do you this favor, but then, friendship has a price, basically. I'll come to you for a favor later. And that's how he built his business. And doing that type of stuff, it's like hey, trading favors, and I did this for you, that means you owe me, and stuff like that. Maybe that was a product at the time for Vito, and when he grew up, or whenever he grew his business and grew his empire. But for Michael, that's not what he did. Michael, he used fear. I feel like at a point, I feel like he does have the respect because he is his father's son. But he didn't nearly have the respect that Vito had. Vito had like an absurd amount of respect for these people, a love. And I think a lot of it does have to do with that he did help a lot of them. He did do things for them. He had a reputation of being giving. Yeah, he could get stuff done. He'd slap the crap out of you if you didn't get your crap together. Be a man, you know, and just slap you across the face. Yeah, I mean, he was capable of that type of stuff, but he was not an abuser. I mean, he was still obviously a bad man. He killed people, you know, but it was something to where he knew that you need not just fear and respect. You want love and respect, right? And you think about, what's his name? Who's the guy who, in the first one, because you have all these people coming in begging for things and like trying to get something out of Vito, or the Don, or the Godfather in the first one, and they're not showing him a whole lot of respect. They're just asking for something, and then he uses that to garner favors later. But then you have, was it Luca? His name Luca Brazzi? Is that right? I can't remember his name. Anyways, I think people said he was actually a mafia guy in real life, which is interesting. But he goes in and he basically just wants to pay respects to him. He doesn't ask for a single thing. All he does is just wants him to know how much he respects him, how much he will do anything for him. And I think that's what Michael was not able to obtain, and I don't think he was quite sure how to obtain that. I think he thought that you got that by fear, and he sees it starting to slip away. He sees he's losing power, he's losing authority, he's getting disrespected. And yeah, he is a strategist, and he's a master tactician. He knows how to twist things and how to play the game, and what moves will lead to what moves. But in the end, he always just resorting to killing in order to win. I mean, you think about like Fagin or Hagen was saying at the end, is like, you don't have to kill him. You don't have to kill him. He's going to be dead in like 6 months. I mean, he did say obviously he's been dying of a heart attack for like 20 plus years, but the dude obviously clearly is not doing well. He's working on an exit strategy anyway, so he did not need to kill the guy. The guy was either going to go to prison. He was going to do all that, and I don't even think he'd have time to testify with as slow as that type of stuff goes anyways. So he was like a non-issue. And then Fredo, he knows Fredo's stupid. He knows Fredo's an idiot. He knows that, I think there by the end, I think it was very clear that Fredo was apologetic and he just wanted to be back at the family. He wanted to be connected with them again because he's lost without his family. And there's another contrast of Fredo and Michael. Michael had the capability to lead and keep everything together, and he totally does, and he keeps it all together. He's maintaining his power, but at what cost? And that was actually his concern at the very beginning, right? Is what cost? What will it cost for him to keep his power? And that's what he said. He's going to lose his family, and he ended up basically almost just being okay with it in the end. And you could see kind of where he tips over, I guess, the edge into, I guess, I don't know about evil, but into just like power hungry, power mad, or just not giving a single crap. Because I think his last connection of really caring with his family, there's two people, especially after Fredo betrayed him. His wife, cared about her, and obviously cares about his kids, but I'm saying like as far as adults, not kids, they have the unconditional love, but he has his wife, and he had Fredo. Well, Fredo betrayed, his wife and mother. I already mentioned Fredo already betrayed him at this point. So you have his wife aborted his unborn child because she hates him so much. So there goes the love there. And obviously, I want to make sure to make it clear, I didn't object a whole lot when he did it because I was just in shock at the whole scene. It was just an insane scene. But obviously, he should not have smacked the crap out of her. And I think that was where he kind of tilted into maybe even evil, honestly. That's whenever he tilted to the point where he was just going to literally, that was the last thing keeping him from going full on criminal, evil mob lord type of thing, or kingpin. And then the other person he cared about obviously was his mother. And then his mother died, and I feel like it was something that, like, at that point he felt comfortable with just disconnecting himself from all family. And the only person that he's The only person who's literally never betrayed him, as far as his family goes, he was even trying to go after him, Hagen. Just really paranoid, and that's the problem whenever you make you're in a, first off, just being in a crime family at all, I feel like you just be constantly paranoid. I mean, look, whether it's crime families or dictatorships, right? Ruling by force just means somebody's going to come up and try to supplant you with violence, usually with force. I mean, you see that all the time throughout history, whether it's criminal organizations or you see it in Soviet Russia, communism, you know? So it's, man. Okay, so far, I'm going to watch it through again with my reaction, with my editing. So far, I do believe I like the first one better. But there's no denying it is a fantastic movie. And gosh, dang it. And just, again, I feel like I'm so scattered. I feel like I just don't even know what to say. Okay. And I love the parallels when it comes to his dad. And again, you see, in the end, Vito kept his family. And his family was the thing that kept him together, I'm sure. And, you know, honestly, he kept his family together as far as that goes, too. And I think it's clear by the end that Vito is the glue that held the family together. And I think by the end of it, too, it's very clear at a point that Michael, I think I've said this already, that he didn't care all that much for his family. Not in the general sense. He doesn't value the whole Mia Familia sort of vibe as much as the rest of them, maybe. And by the end, Michael's all about power. I think that's ultimately what it is by the end, he is all about power and keeping it. Man. Okay. Here's what I think. I think I like the scene construction, the suspense, and the overall intensity of this movie better. I think the intensity and the scene construction, the dialogue, the acting, I think all that, I don't know if it could be beaten. But I think I like the story of the first one better. I'm not sure, gosh. I do think I like the first one better, but this was fantastic. I need to watch it again, though. I need to watch it again. Because, my gosh. And it's a bit of an undertaking, obviously. Honestly, I might need to watch somebody kind of break it down, just because my thoughts are just so jumbled right now. It probably doesn't help that I did have to stop it, 50 minutes into the movie where there wasn't, when it wasn't an intervention for a couple hours. It might have jumbled my thoughts a little bit more than I would have liked, unfortunately, but that's just a hard part when you have kids and, you end up having to watch. I mean, right now, just kind of let you know, I was lucky. It's only 1:25. If it was something where I waited till later to watch this, it would have, or waited till I normally do to start watching something, it'd be 3 already. So I'm feeling very blessed. But anyways, wow. Okay, I do want to ask you guys. So I do want to ask you guys, do you want me to watch The Godfather Part 3? And I think there's 2 versions of it, right? There's one version which I think is the Mario Puzo's The Godfather, The Death of Michael Corleone, which is actually a better version. It's worse. I've heard it's not as good as the other 2, but I think from what I understand, the theatrical version of The Godfather Part 3 is kind of poo-poo. Man, I really want to go back and watch the first one again now, and then watch this one like almost immediately after. Just kind of, maybe I might honestly do that. Just kind of go yesterday to today, or today, and just kind of watch it bit by bit, and then go into the next one. Because my goodness. And Robert De Niro, I just want to say, as Vito was fantastic. I really enjoyed watching that a lot more than I expected. Honestly, I wondered if he was going to feel like Vito, but I feel like he did good, and I feel like they did a lot of really good. I loved watching young Vito in the very beginning. Actually, I want to mention that young Vito was really kind of interesting as a character because they said he's stupid and he doesn't talk very much. But I feel like some people think that people that don't talk very much, they sometimes think they're stupid, but it couldn't be any further from the truth. Those people tend to be on the smarter end because they've figured out to shut up. Now, I'm not always one of those people. I tend to talk a lot. I tend to always want to put my opinion in there. But he had figured it out. He had figured out that he needed to keep his mouth shut and listen, pay attention, figure things out. And that's absolutely what he figured out. And also, a good way to make friends too is to listen, because who do people want to hear from the most? They want to hear from themselves. Who is your favorite person? It's you. You're your favorite person. And so that's the best way, really, honestly, to make friends, really, is to talk about that other person, to listen to the other person. So being somebody who listens, who knows when to shut up, and then knows when people need help and all that. You make friends in order to make it farther. And he made friends, and they were devoted to him. And I like seeing that. And then you have Michael Corleone, and he talked about his enemies and killing them all. Whenever you have Vito trying to avoid bloodshed whenever he could. Whenever Michael he resorted to it all too quickly. And I wonder if Michael's wife had told him basically, look, no, I don't think anything would ever change. And she was totally right to try to leave and try to get those kids out of that situation, because it's very clearly dangerous. It's not going to be good for those kids. That boy, he's going to rise up to be his heir, right? That's his whole thing. He's like, my heir. I think he said, you're not taking my heir from me. And, it was good. The best thing she could do as a mother is to take them away from that situation, I believe. Now, obviously, don't get me started on the abortion, because, my gosh, just leave. Don't freaking kill the kid. That just disturbs me. And the fact that she just she could have just left. Why did she? Makes me wonder why she didn't. Why she just told him. I guess she thought that he'd track her down somehow. I guess he's powerful, and he was powerful enough to do it. I just don't know. I feel like you ever have those movies and shows where you're just thinking, what if this had gone differently? Would Michael have made a different decision here? I was like, oh man, what if he just never got involved with his family to begin with? He was in a hard spot. He just wanted to help his family, which now I'm not even sure he really cared a whole lot for his family. And maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe I'm just assuming the worst of Michael. But because he's just, at this point, he's gone full on evil villain. I mean, not evil villain. He's just given into the violent temptations and the ease of taking care of your enemies, and instead of making friends of them, killing them. Man, that's crazy. And then he kills his own brother. And you know what? I thought it was something to where he needed his sister, but honestly, he didn't go out there to talk to Fredo because his sister came and talked to him. Maybe it was, maybe that's how he thought of it. Maybe he thought of it right there. I was like, okay, I'll kill him. He can stay here, but it'll make it easier for me to kill him. But man. I mean, even the way he looks at his sister, it was very much with indifference. You see at the very beginning of the movie, I feel like he very much just cares about his sister, and he cares about her not screwing up her life. And and actually I will say, I think that if it wasn't for Fredo and for his wife, if it wasn't for her aborting his kid and Fredo betraying him, I don't think he He might have eventually, but I don't think he would have given up on the temptations of like the murder and all that stuff and just going full on criminal and psychopathic murderer at a point. I don't know. Some of my thoughts are just. I feel like it was a lot more articulate and intelligent for the first, for the Godfather. Anyways, that's it. I think that's all I have to give. I really don't have a whole lot more that I can give. I mean, I think I have plenty of thoughts throughout it. Like I mentioned in the reaction that Frodo, I think, had a mustache intentionally because he was trying to mimic his dad. He was trying to be his father, even though personality-wise he was not. Man, I love the cameo at the end with them all back alive, and then them showing them going and greeting Vito. The Vito who loved him. Vito who took him outside the window whenever he was a child and waved goodbye to his family. It's really heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. And it's so crazy too, because then I have to remind myself he's a criminal and he's a bad man. But it is heartbreaking because what happened to this family could have been so close. They could have been a good family. And I mean, in reality, if you think about it from just a strict moral right and wrong way, obviously Vito made his son into this because of the crime. And that's maybe the comparison that we're seeing as far as son and father. You have father and son. You have father, which is Vito and Vito, and then you have son, which is Michael, and then you have father, which is Michael, and then son, which is Anthony Vito Corleone. So, continuing the trend, look at your son. He is going to grow up to be part of that family, and you think about it, the anger, you think about the violence, you think about all that. That's with his, influence from his father being someone who tried to avoid that, tried to make peace and have peace in the families and all that stuff. Michael goes and kills him. But then you think about his son. What's he gonna be? What type of person is he gonna be? That is interesting to me as far as the concept goes. So the Godfather coda, I think, has to do with that maybe a little bit. I know it says the death of Michael Corleone. Let's see, where's his son? Does Anthony Garcia, or Andy, did I say Anthony Garcia? That's funny. Andy Garcia, does he play his son? Man. Well, that's really all I got. That is really all I got. Let me know if you guys want me to watch The Godfather Part 3, in which version you'd want me to watch it, because I think it is the Coda one, the death of Michael Corleone, that I've been told is what you want to watch when it comes to this. And I know it's significantly shorter than the others, so let me know exactly what I need to do there, and I'd be happy to go ahead and try to check it out, because I really do enjoy this. I would like to see a trilogy that brings everything together and wraps it up in a satisfying way, even if it's something to where it's not the best out of these movies. I'd very, very much be interested in seeing that. And it's really, really sad to see what happened to Michael, what's happened to Michael, what's become of him, and what has become of his relationships, and how much he hates and doesn't trust and doesn't love at this point. And he used to be so loving and kind and caring towards his children. That's another thing to talk about, is the fact that you see at the beginning, he's kissing on his kid, he loves his kid, he's being very loving and caring, and then at the end, he is just sitting in the room as they're clearly upset. They just lost their grandma, not to mention their parents just went through a divorce. I don't know how long before then, but also they're just in there sitting. He's sitting in his chair, and he's just not talking, and they're just not talking. So his affection for his children is, I'm sure he still loves his children, but his affection for them has waned, the way he shows it. And the thing is about Vito, no matter what he did, he loved his family. He always loved his family, his kids, and you see that from the way he treated them when they were little, and the way he held them, and the way he played with them and stuff like that. So it's really interesting. And then of course the way he treated them as they the way he treated them as they became adults. Man. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys watching. Please check out my Patreon if you want to get the full reaction to this reaction. Man, I'm going to have to try to get that rendered. I just know this one's an important one and people are probably going to want to watch that. So check it out on my Patreon. I do appreciate it. And please check out early access to the next movie. I think my wife and I, my wife said she wanted to watch the Barbie movie. She hasn't seen that. We'd heard a lot of negative things, but then she heard some positive things. I didn't really want to watch it, but she wants to watch it. And it's a little sad that the next movie after The Godfather I'm going to be watching is going to be the Barbie movie. How far we have come, or fallen. Anyways, check out my Patreon, like I said. And if you like this video, then please like this video and comment down below what you'd like to watch next. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I have plenty of them on my channel, and go check out. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.